What's up, everybody? I'm gonna show you how to rewire your fuel pump for more power. After the years, your car get old, the current don't be as strong as it used to when it was brand new. So I'm gonna show you how to get a good 12 volts to your fuel pump at all times, and it actually help it perform better. So check this out. I'm gonna show you how to rewire. I had already took off the back seats to get to the fuel pump. This is a 97 Acura Integra. From 94 to probably 2000, 2001, it should be the same steps. But this is the fuel pump, 3 Phillips screws to get that lid off, and this is the pump. So I already marked it on these wires. Where here is it? It's right here. These wires down here, this yellow wire with the green strip, and then you got a black wire. The yellow wire with the green strip, that's gonna be the power from the fuse box to actually give it the switch when you turn your key. The black wire is ground, and those two wires go to this connector that goes to this connection right here. But what I'm gonna do, a lot of people like to cut the connector off and just rewire it from these actual wires, but I don't want to clip off the connector just in case I want to put things back to stock. The connector is still there. So I left the connector on there, and what I'm going to do, you need to buy you a relay. This is a 12 volt 30 amp relay, and it's only a 4 prong. Sometimes you'll have 5 and it'd be 1 in the center, but a lot of the times you don't even use the 1 in the center. So just try to get the 4, but if they don't have a 4, it's okay to get the 5. So what you want to do is, I got my handy dandy notes, so if you ever want to pause it, and this will tell you, this relay at the bottom, it has numbers, as you can see at the top, also 30, 86, 85, 87. Also at the bottom, where's some light at? There we go. You can see 85, you got 86, 87, and then over here in this corner is a 30. I don't know if you can see the 30, but this empty one that doesn't have anything on it, that's a 30. So this paper right here is telling you where to put what. One of the wires have to go to the battery, directly to the battery, and once you run that wire directly to the battery, you're going to get these spades right here. You get them from AutoZone or O'Reilly, wherever you want, but these are female spades. Get these, and you're going to connect it to this relay using it. So once you run your wire from the battery, you want to put that one to number 30. And as I say, on this relay, there's a 30 on there. So put the wire that's running from the battery, put that one directly to 30. Then you also need to ground this relay. So that ground is going to have to go to number 85. So once again, on your relay, find out which one of these prongs is 85, and that's where you're going to put your ground. Then you need a switch wire. Switch wire is the wire that's going to send the signal to this relay to open, to let the current in from the wire that you put from the battery. So that switch wire is number 86, and that's what you're going to be using from the stock harness right here. The switch wire on the stock harness is that yellow wire with the green strip. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to cut this connector, so I'm just going to splice into this one and run that wire. You can see in the back side, I'm just going to splice into it, add my own wire, and run it to that 86. And then also you need a wire to go to the fuel pump. So when the power from the battery goes through the relay, and then they get the signal from the switch wire to send that current to the fuel pump, you need to put that fuel pump wire to 87. So right here, this one on the left, which is the black wire from the stock harness, it's gonna go to ground, and I already ran it, and I'm going to ground it up here. So that's my ground wire, and then this wire is from the fuel pump, which is the power, which I already found. I told you that it's going to be that one is going to 87. So I already wrote it, got a P and a G, power and ground. So the P, the power wire, is going to go to 87. The ground wire, of course, you're going to ground it up here. So I'm going to double these. I'm going to ground the fuel pump, need a ground, and also this relay need a ground, which is number 85. I'm going to put both of those ground right here. A 10mm screw going there. Make sure you clean it up, get all the dirt off, and you want good contact. So both of those wires will go right here for the ground. So basically, that'll be it. Once you get it all together, test it out, make sure it works, and once I'm done, I'll show you that it works, and you should be able to hear it. You know, aftermarket fuel pumps are usually, especially Walbro, you can hear them. They're louder than the stock one. But once you do this rewire where it's getting more power, it'll be even louder. You can tell if it's working or not. So another thing I want to show you, when I splice into this wire, I have a torch. I don't like cutting it. So what I do, I use this torch like a pen torch. I heat it up. This rubber right here, I get real soft because of the heat, and I just peel it away. Once I peel it away, I splice my own wire into it, and I'll show you how I did that once I'm done. Alright, as you can see, I already did it. I heated it up. You can see what it's burnt rubber is, and then all I did was slide it back, and then it exposed the wire in the middle. And then you just get your own wire, and don't go this way where it be almost like a T. Line it up this way and cross it like an X. Then it'll be smooth contact. Just keep twisting it around, and this wire will go with the flow of the original wire, and it won't be all odd and everything like that. So I'm gonna show you how I do it, and I'll be right back. Alright, and there you have it. So what I did, come on, focus. We're almost waiting on my camera to focus. Alright, it might not get no better than that, but there we go. What I did, I just laid the wire side by side, and I twisted it around like a snake. That way it'll go with the flow, and it's not all like a T sticking up and weird looking. So once you do it like that, get you some electrical tape or some heat shrink to put on there to protect this wire, because power will be going through here, and you don't want it to touch metal. That could be bad. So that's how I spliced it into it. And once again, this is going to be the switch wire, and that's going to go to number 86. So once I get everything all wired up, I'll show you how it looks when the finishing touches, and I'll turn the car on so you can hear that it actually works. Alright, this is the finishing touches. I got everything ran. I am not gonna leave it like this. This is not how I roll. This is just how can I say, I just did it like this to make sure everything worked before I clean it up. So once I find out everything has worked, then I clean it up and make it more suitable. But as you can see, those two wires obviously are grounds. They went to that screw right there. I just screwed them in because I didn't have the right spade for it. But I'm about the spade. This green wire is coming all the way from the battery. I ran it through the car. I am not gonna leave that like that. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run it down the side molding and bring it up across, you know, just make it more cleaner. Everything is not gonna be out in the open like that. So just to reiterate, here's the paper again. So basically, like I say, 87 is the power to the fuel pump. And if you look over here, this is the power to the fuel pump. This wire is going to 87. And then switch wires to 86. The switch wire this here it is right here. I spliced it in so I don't have to cut the connector off. So this is the switch wire that goes to the stock harness, the yellow wire with the green stripe. That going to 86. And then 85 is ground. But remember, that's ground for the actual relay. So you want to put a ground wire on 85, run it to ground. That's one of the wires up there on that screw. And then 30, as you can see right there, is the battery wire. That's the one that goes to the battery to get the constant 12 volts. And that's this big one. So everything's going here. And like I say, this is just a rough draft. Make sure it works. So let's find out if it works or not. So also, one thing I left out, the fuel pump needed ground. That's where the G is. That G is ground, and it's also running up to that screw over there. So both of them is grounded with that screw over there. So enough talk, let's see if this works. And like I said, if it works, you should be able to hear it. So I'm gonna take the key, of course, put it in, and what you want to do, I'm gonna try to turn it with my left hand. Listen to see if you hear the fuel pump. Here we go. You hear that? That's the fuel pump. So that's a good thing. The fuel pump turned on. You don't see no smoking, ain't nothing burning or nothing like that. Although I need to put a what they call that, a fusible link in this power wire that's coming from the battery, just in case something go haywire, that fuse will pop and you know, it won't short anything else out. So once again, turn the key. You ain't even gotta start the car, although I am. Just turn the key, see if you hear the fuel pump. Alright, so that's a good thing. Now let's see if this bad boy fire up. Never mind that. That's my gauge over there. I need to set it because I unplugged the battery. But let's see if it works. Alright, so it worked. The car is running. Got good idle. And, you hear that? That's the fuel pump. It's running. Alright, this is the finishing touch. As you can see, I got the relay right here. I put the back seat in, make sure it's not touching or laying up against it. I used double-sided tape. I was going to screw it, but I just don't want to be drilling holes and cutting connectors. I don't know, I like to leave stuff original. Although a little hole, I got a self-tapping screw I could have put in there, but I also have some double-sided tape and stick pretty good. So I'm gonna leave it like that. And these are the wires. I had some old wire loom. I just wrapped it around the electrical tape. Had that going to the fuel pump. This is the switch wire. The red one is the power wire to the fuel pump. This green one is the ground. And then as you can see, the two grounds, the one ground that go to the 85 and the one ground that goes to the actual fuel pump, I put them together and I put them behind the screw with I don't know, let's see, yeah, here they go. No, this is not it. Give me 1 second. Here we go right here. I used one of these circular spades to put the grounds, put it behind this bolt, tighten it down. I cleaned it and then tighten it down so it could be a good contact. But that's it. That red wire, I went to O'Reilly's and bought some wire. I think it's what did I get? I think I got 16 gauge. I probably should have got 14, but you know, it is what it is. But this wire is coming from the battery. I ran it. Look like it got pinched right here. Gonna have to fix that because this can't touch no metal once it touches the battery. Once it get juice going through it, if this has a hole in it and it touch metal, that's a no-no. I still need to put a fuse link in here just in case something like this do touch metal. It'll pop the fuse instead of going all the way to wherever and shorting stuff out. but I haven't did that yet. But this is going to the battery. I'll probably put the fuse link somewhere in the middle that I can access it easy, because I hate it in the behind the molding, going through the door trim all the way to the battery. So I'm also going to use one of these once I bolt it to the battery. So once you put it to the battery, just put the wire in this and put this on the positive battery terminal, and you'll be ready to go. So like I say, this is the finishing touches. I don't have wires all over the place like how I did before. So this is wire from when I bought the car. They had what's that, amp and subwoofers in the trunk. I never took it out. I just left it in there, just be tucked away. But so never mind all that in the back. But this is it. So if you like, subscribe, like the video. I'll be back to you with more projects that I have, and God bless, and hopefully this was helpful to get a constant 12 volt to your fuel pump. Late.